The Apotheosis Archive Project presents Apotheosis, Aedificatoris, and Absentia, Round 2. Dated to June 16th, 2013. Uru, the Kai. In the skies above Pylos, a massive translucent white horse is seen charging into the ground. Upon impact, no crater is left, only the snow-white meteor of the vision. The horse appears again to the king's daughter and offers a ride to the rock. Lamna, Eirene. Eirene asks that the two spread the word that she can help people conceive. She also asks that they carve her name into the rock around the spring. Finally, she tells them that she will help them in their hunts, so long as they avoid pregnant animals and ones with young. Nano, Epithus. I summon a vision of 5 large flaming scarabs and 1 giant flaming stag beetle. The soldiers hear my voice, saying, "Do not harm this woman, for she has done no wrong to you. Those who plan to give her the edge of your sword shall be reduced to ash, while those who give her the hilt and say the name Epithus will be listened to. Do not adore the queen who tells you to kill this woman and child, for she is a queen who hunts her fellows out of jealousy. This is my warning. Know that I have given it, and reflect that in your choices." The visions are consumed in a swirl of fire, and a normal-sized orange-gold stag beetle flies away. Jere, Merchan. I show Icteon all the paths to avoid bandits, and all the people willing to pay the most for his wares. I teach him how to barter with skills surpassing any else in the world. He was already a skilled barterer, so it's not a super powerful miracle. I also say to him he should spread my word to those in taverns, to say that others can get just as rich as he was. I then tell him he will always be my favorite, and I will always make sure he is the richest in the land if he follows me. Kamine, Feklu. Guy's name isn't Kletos, it's Feklu. I write upon his wall once more. Are you seriously thinking I'm angry at you? Typical. Go give the honey to the starving family nearby. I may be dead, but I'm not letting my villagers die on my watch. Watcher, Orubashi. Domjon is contacted in a vision once again, and Orubashi spreads his word to him, this time ordering him to take off with his band of followers from the army, and, with stolen weapons, make off to the closest village to present the word to its inhabitants. He is also given permission to destroy anybody who makes themselves an obstacle in the path of God. Vespetum, Valtariberg. A crowd gathers around the teacher, begging him for answers. He raises his hand. They fall silent. He speaks with a voice that is not his own. It brings fear to those who listen. He says, "Something in Greek. Something in Greek." Dial for the Devil. Round 2 responses. Uru, Kai. Follower count 110,000. The daughter gets on the horse while women of the city flock towards the meteor and touch it, in the hopes of gaining a child. Meanwhile, they pray that you will aid them in their revenge against Sparta. They ask what to do next. The king orders a construction of a huge statue of a white horse. Thus, the city of Pylos has been consecrated to you, allowing you to do as you please. Miracles. You now have direct command over the city of Pylos and its assets. Remember to ensure your people continue the worship of you, though. Lamna, Eirene. Follower count 20. The woman informs her friends of this miracle, and soon they begin to travel to the spring near the city of Pella. Rumors are abound that it can cure all ailments. Meanwhile, the hunter never seems to have problems catching game. His family are always bountiful, and offer a third of their catch as sacrifice to you. The hunter also instructs his friends to do the same. The spring is an area consecrated to you. Thus, you have a far greater control of the area and its surroundings. Your powers within the area are far greater. Miracles. You can cause infertile women to become fertile. The spring also has healing properties. In your area, you can populate the land with game and directly control the animals living there. Nano. Epithus. Follower count 5. One of the soldiers immediately butchers the woman, believing her to be a witch, and he turns towards the child. Due to the other soldiers' sheer fear of seeing the vision, the killer is immediately consumed by beetles and reduced to ash. The other soldiers, in their horror, pledge themselves to serve Epithus and the god. You now have a cult surrounding the child. This gives you a direct command over the members of the cult. To show that they belong to you, they brand themselves with your sigil of a stag beetle. Miracles. You can induce multiple, more powerful visions to those around Epithus. You send hordes of beetles to attack those threatening Epithus. Those branded with a stag beetle can be commanded directly. Jere. Merchant. Follower count 2. Icteon dies immediately after receiving this information of a brain hemorrhage. The human brain cannot take that sudden impact of knowledge. Puny mortals need extensive preparation and training before you can give them that much information. The sons ask Merchan why he killed their father. Miracles, none. Your followers look as they may leave you. Oof! Kamine. Feklu. Follower count 1. The man stops giving honey to you and begins giving it to others. His neighbors notice this more charitable turn for the man and begin helping him out more. The village as a whole seems to have become a much friendlier place. The man tells the others about the wall. However, they doubt him, believing him to be insane. But do not deride him, as he does give them free honey. Miracles. You can appear to believers as an apparition. Watcher. Orubashi. Follower count 30. Word had traveled around the camp quickly as a band formed around Damjin. The men desert the army and continue down the road until they reach the village. The village is abandoned. The inhabitants heard of the daemon and fled in sheer terror. Meanwhile, the army has sent out a band of men to catch these deserters and kill them to send a message to the men. Vespitome. Valtariberg. Follower count 6. Most of the villagers walk away laughing, seeing the teacher to be intentionally enigmatic. The few that stay are the desperate and the homeless. They eagerly await for what the teacher has to say next. Okay, that's round 2. What can we say as a sort of takeaway from this? What is the analysis and commentary? 1, I'll make sure to include a map this time, so that way we can see where things are. That was a bit of a flub on my part previously. Not a whole lot to say. Obviously we can see the Kai just astronomically taking off in power very, very quickly here. Some of the other gods, are piddling around a little bit. And then we also get to see a little bit of what, especially this early game of Apotheosis was known for. In almost a sort of second edition D&D, the world will get you if you're not careful. Very, very grimdark in a sense. Or gritty, perhaps. In that, Merchan just tried to talk to his guy and made his brain blow up, basically. Too much information at once kills the man. So, it was supposed to, I think, maybe instill a tone of, you gotta be really careful about what you do. Which was, and that's perhaps a mainstay even through Apotheosis today. And then also, I love, there's a certain cheekiness to this game as well. Valtariberg, dude was, posting stuff in Greek, and not many people can read that, and I would hazard no one in the game today can read it. And so it's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you're being purposely enigmatic? Cool. Lose some followers. Maybe not the nicest thing to do. I would, most GMs today would probably frown against that sort of thing, that kind of behavior, but, it's a bit of fun. And this is stuff that was happening pretty quickly. It was pretty low stakes, all things considered, at this point. But that will do it for round 2.